Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and finally a new video on the Mark 1 Golf GTI. I know so many of you have been waiting patiently and looking forward to this build. Sorry about the squinting guys, it is quite bright outside. So we have been waiting for a fuel tank, filler neck, etc. and it has been on back order, but finally now that is in and we are able to get on with this car. Guys, quite a lot of you know about the work we've been doing on this car, and we never knew how far we was going to go with it. Fortunately for us, we got very lucky and managed to team up with Heritage Parts Centre, and they really have helped us out on this build and let us continue on and get more and more of it done. So I do just want to say a quick thank you to Heritage Parts Centre for hooking us up and linking up with us on this build. They've just sent out the fuel tank and the filler neck, so today we can get on with that. Guys, for those of you that don't know who Heritage Parts Centre are, they are enthusiasts for enthusiasts, and they specialise in classic Volkswagen and Porsche. And you can go on their website and order pretty much everything you need to rebuild one of these cars, one of these classic Volkswagens or Porsches, from start to finish. So I'll put their link in the description. Thank you again, Heritage, for sponsoring this build. Let's get on and get it fitted. We pulled it straight in and made a start, put it up on the ramp because we need it up there. We need to remove some bits off of it. In the background there, Chris has been messing around putting this brand new petrol tank back together. We've just pulled this out of the box and thought that we was going to need to paint it, but thankfully for us, it has already come in paint. We've got that nice new fuel pump in there and the sender unit. Chris has put that back in, and of course we have put all new fuel lines and clips on it as well, so that's all ready to go back together. We've got that nice new filler neck there to go on it, and of course the old one. So in the last video, if you have missed any of these in this series, sorry, part one, you would have seen that we cleaned up all under these arches. We started off with a good car. It was already very, very nice. Then we moved on and fitted all new bearings. We had the back axle all powder coated. We fitted these SSP coilover suspension, all new drums, new wheel cylinders, new brake lines. Everything in there is new. And again, on the other side, that's all done as well. So before we brought it in, I actually did lie down outside with it jacked up, and we actually jetted off all underneath here. That new fuel tank's going in. We want it to be all nice. There is some chips in it and some marks, some previous marks, but it is just white stone chip. So our plan is we need to drop this axle back down. We're actually going to re-stone chip this. You can see where some bits of it's actually come off. There's a little bit of a surface rust here we need to clean up, and we're just going to re-stone chip that before we actually fit that new fuel tank. It's going to be a nice new fuel tank. You don't want to be covering up all these marks and scratches. So just for our peace of mind, we're actually going to do it. And of course, all this in here, just so that it all looks really nice. You can see at some point, parts of it have been treated with some wax, but it is just parts of it. So once we're completely done, I'm sure we're going to stick some wax on it anyway. But again, there is some little repairs to do on it. So let's crack straight on, get that rear axle removed again. We do need to take it off anyway, because when we put it back together last time, we never actually put the roll bar back on it. And the reason for that was it wasn't done. That is now all done, so we can get that fitted as well. Let's get on. Last time when we done under the arches, quite a few people actually in the comments went, "Wow, that's too white, that looks terrible." But guys, the thing is, if you look at those wheel arches now, once this does dry down, you can see they're like black and white now. Once it does dry off, it does go a kind of yellowy colour, so it really does dull down. And once that tank's in there to break it up and that rear beam's back on, you'll be surprised how nice it does look. All of this black here, we're not worried about this at the moment. This is part of the bodywork, so Don't panic about that. We just wanted to get the sections that we're working on done and nice. So that all looks great under there now. We can get that tank fitted in there and know that it's all nice the other side of it. So let's move straight on and actually start the process of getting that tank fitted. Should be reasonably easy. I think it was quite easy to get out. It was just some bits in the way, like the exhaust, and of course we had to swing that beam down. So let's move straight on and get it in there. Quite a lot going on there, guys, in the background that I just couldn't show down here on the floor. So getting that roll bar fitted back on and getting those clips on, it was quite hard work actually. Me and Chris both hanging off of it, but they've got all nice new bushes in them now. That's all completely back together. So as soon as we're ready, that can go back on. So the tank I showed, it is all fitted up, but Chris said there's a load of pads to go on there. So I've just been out and got the old tank. What a difference that is. Just so that we can see where these sticky pads are going. We want to try and get them in the right place. It's obviously to protect it, so it's not actually touching the underside of the car. So we're going to get all those pads put on there, and then we'll start the process of actually fitting that new tank up underneath the car. It should be quite straightforward now that we've got, as soon as we get them pads on and we've got the axle all built up. One thing I did notice, been sat outside a little while, we will need to clean these up and give them a coat of paint, them drums. We never actually painted them when we put them on, and we would like to just clean that surface rust off and give them a little going over so that it prevents them from going rusty, because they don't look very nice and they're actually, as we know, brand new. So let's crack straight on with it. We was just about the time lapse, chucking the tank in, guys. And we needed the door open to shine back in at the car. And all of a sudden we got a summer shower, quite bad. So we'll throw it in and show you after. Look how nice this is starting to look under here. It really is starting to look incredible. That's all the fuel tank, back beam, all put back exactly where it should be. All the mounting points, all really nice. We've put all new bolts in it. I put new bolts in that. Actually, I thought that was a roll bar. Chris said it looks like that's a bit of a stabiliser bar, because torsion bar just stiffens it up. The fuel accumulator, we've fixed all the bracket, put new bolts in that, fitted the new fuel pump on the original bracket, cleaned all that up. Nice new pipes, Jubilee clips, all new pipes all the way through. Don't worry about this little bit of overspray underneath the floor here, guys. Like I said, we was only concentrating on what was going underneath the fuel tank. We'll be moving on to all of that at a later date. But we are, excuse me, we are getting very, very close with it now. And Chris just got me a fuel can out. I'm going to run down, get a can of fuel. We're going to test through, make sure there's no fuel leaks or anything like that. And then ultimately, Chris, we're going to need to put the exhaust on, aren't we? Because we don't want to run it without that. So really, really getting there. I know there's quite a lot that we haven't shown on camera. Like, there's no point me just pointing the camera here on time lapse. You wouldn't really see what you was doing, and the tripod would probably get in the way, wouldn't it? So there's not really a great deal to see underneath the car anyway. When you're working, you can't see a lot. We've captured as much as we can. That new fuel filler neck, we got a bit confused about that fuel filler neck. Now, they actually sent us out the long one now the other day, because I said the one they had sent us was actually too short. So here's our original, and the new one that come was actually only about to there, and I thought, well, it's too short. So I actually said, we've received the wrong one. So they sent us out this long one, and I said to Chris, oh, I think I've messed up. They don't actually do this exact one. What they do is this improved one, and it's actually just got a slightly longer rubber hose than the other one. So it's a few inches longer, and it fits perfect. It's all bolted up there, all the pipe work is all back in where it should be, and it's all new, of course. So enough waffle, let's get on, get some fuel in it, check for some leaks and get that exhaust pipe fitted. That's to lower the car right down, and then I'm laying down on the floor. We want to run this and the internal pump without any fuel in the tank, because we don't want to force. It's a brand new tank, new fuel pump, new tank fuel pump, the accumulator. We don't know what's in the lines. It's probably a bit iffy, the fuel. We see the state of it that come out the can. So we don't want to run it with fuel till we've disconnected the filter under the bonnet. But I've just put a jump pack on it and Chris is about to turn the key. I'm going to test this one up here. Ready when you are, mate. Yeah, that's buzzing. That's quiet as well. Yeah, lovely. No fuel. And then... oh, you can hear it. So... let's put my thing.
Ready?
Yeah. Yeah, and that one's running perfect as well. We didn't have that running at all.
We didn't know there was one in there, did we?
No, we didn't, no. So we're going to disconnect the filter, probably, aren't we? This end first. Would that make sense?
Yeah.
It would, wouldn't it? So, guys, we've got the filter here. And this is obviously coming in. And this is going back out into the metering. Sorry, it's not, no, it just goes through this filter and then straight into the metering unit. So what we're actually going to do is disconnect this here. We're going to pump a bit of fuel through this pipe just to clear the lines through. And then we're going to fit a brand new filter that we've got as well. Then we know we're going to check for leaks, but we're going to know that that is fresh, clean fuel going in there. We don't want to pump new petrol straight through here, pushing all the debris or anything, the bad petrol through the pipes, and then pushing it straight into the metering unit. So let's get that disconnected and get it into a can. We've checked underneath. There doesn't appear to be anything leaking. It's not under pressure yet, of course, but Chris is in the car, and because we're doing away with this whole filter, what I've done is actually lifted the filter up there and just put a normal, hopefully you can see all of that bottle. You can see pretty much most of it. But we're doing away with everything that's here. So ready when you are, Chris. Turn that ignition on. It might take a little while to prime up because the tank's been out of it for months. Yeah, the pump's starting to go quiet now, so hopefully we should see something soon. It's all right, I can cut a little bit out the middle of this. I can feel the filter filling up, I think.
Can you?
Yes, here we go. There we go, guys. It's quite yellow, Chris.
I suppose that's what's in that filter.
Sorry, I shouldn't say yellow, should I say yellow? Yeah, it's coming out nice and clear now.
Should we pull that in?
No, do stop there a minute. Right, no more. That's a full bottle. Let's just pull that out. Show the camera. So it's actually quite yellow, but it did start coming out clear at the top, so it was actually a lot more yellow. Just for peace of mind, I would like to pour this away. Put it into a can or get another bottle and actually do one more full bottle just to make sure it's coming through. I can actually smell that from here, and that is still some of that stale fuel. So we'll do that a couple of more times or one more time, and then we get the new filter fitted. So in the end, I decided to actually disconnect the fuel pipe because that filter, we don't know how long that's been on there. So we primed it a few times with the filter on, as you see there, and then we've just primed it a couple of times with the fuel filter off, and we probably got about half a cup of like quite dark yellow stuff, and then straight after that, that's nice, neat new petrol, and it smells really strong. So I'm quietly confident that the fuel lines are all clean now as well. So we'll crack on and get that new filter fitted. It's quite straightforward, just that one bolt there and little tiny Jubilee clip on the pipe at the other end. No, it's a little bit of a waiting game. We've got quite a bit of life in the battery. It may take a little while to prime up, but we're going to give it a try. It sounds pretty quiet now, so
Give it a go?
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, battery's out.
That's a new battery. Just had the jump pack on low there. He's going to try it on high. It's not. That battery needs to go back. I'll have to send it back. We'll dig out a battery, find something to go on it, and then we'll try again. Jump pack's had about half an hour on charge, so we've got the booster on it down here on low, and the jump pack, and there's a bit of life in the battery. So yeah, go on, mate. That's better. Go on, girl. Go on. Yeah. No exhaust pipe, mate. We did forget about that. No, we'll leave it in. Guys, I said we was going to fit the exhaust. Completely forgot about it, but the fuel's got up there and it's firing up. So we get that fitted and hopefully get this running and it purrs like a cat. Sorry everyone, I'm half asleep today. I completely forgot about that exhaust pipe, but that is it, all now fitted. It's got all nice new brackets on it. It's all sealed up. So we're going to bring it down. Do you want to do that, Chris? Save me cutting. We'll bring it down and give it another go. That is a new battery on there. It is going to need another new one, I think. But it was only a couple of months ago we got it. So got the jump pack there. We should be able to swap it out, but it'd be nice if this all runs nice, wouldn't it? And then we can actually drive it, because since we bought this car, all we've ever done is push it everywhere. Still too tall for me, mate. Yep. The slowest ramp in the world. A couple of people did ask before why that ramp goes so slow. I have mentioned it previously. It's for the jig. It's actually designed for that jig, so that the car's lower down on it, nice and slow. Can't even get its earth on it now. Right. Good. No, life's off. Right, we're good, I think, mate.
I'll prime it up a couple of times.
Yeah, give it a few primes, yeah. Oh, sounds a bit... That's it. That sounds a lot better. Guys, if you didn't hear this car in the last video, go back and watch that one. That, yeah. Just a... Oh, yeah. Still a little bit missy now and then. No, and obviously we still haven't serviced it. That is quite low. It's got a rev counter. Yeah, it's fluctuating between 0 and 10. Give it a little rev up, Chris. Yeah, that's fine there, isn't it? Yeah, it's actually nice and quiet. So that is it. New fuel tank, new fuel pumps, all back together. And that is how we wanted it to sound. Just sounds much better. Yeah, we can do the cam belt, water pump. We've got it all, but we did not want to commit to doing all of that work until we'd heard that engine run nicely. We got it running last time, but it just wasn't nice. It was, in fact, it was all over the place. We thought it might have dropped a valve, but yeah, sounds lovely. I know it was a little bit stop-start and running off here and running off there, but that's exactly how the videos go, guys. And we are so chuffed now. We haven't got to push that car anymore. And ultimately, getting it this far now so that it runs and drives, makes it so much more easier for us, and makes it, you know, like we're rolling one day next week and Chris will say, or I'll say, what should we do today? And he go, let's bring the Golf in, drive it in, and we can crack on. You know how much stuff we've got still for that car. So we've got all those front complete struts to put in, and we want to get the underneath front end of that looking like the back end of it, because the back end of it now underneath looks amazing. I do just want to say a massive thank you again to Heritage for sponsoring the last couple of videos on that car, because we're not sure we'd have gone that far without their help, and they really have helped us out. So I'll stick their link in the description. Yeah, really happy with the little Golf. I mean, there is quite a bit of work to do on it, but the underneath the underneath of it, all the back completely done. Can't wait to get cracking on the front, and I'm sure in the next video that's exactly what we're gonna do. Not sure what day. Oh, you'll be watching this video on a Friday. It's actually Thursday today, so we've just hit 200,000 subscribers, and we're pretty made up, guys. We are really made up. Chris done a bit of a community post, read it to me, and I said, yeah, put it out. And then about an hour later, I said to him, do you know what? I think that it's only fair. I should probably go live tonight. So Chris has put that community post. So you've already seen me live yesterday. That is going to be the end of today's video. Check out the merchandise. Let's get involved. The link is in the description down below. Follow us on Instagram for some little sneak peeks at Salvage Rebuilds. We also normally advertise the cars on there for you subscribers to have a look at, and if you're interested, you can get in touch. Don't forget, please like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you early next week in the next one.